It's time for another feature release from Boozang. This time it's 7.13 and we keep adding features and updating the user interface following the lead of Visual Studio Code. The good news is that we are soon ready with this new rehash of a lot of things, so that means it's time for us to update the documentation and a lot of the resources like the Udemy course to help you get started testing with Boozang. So it's going to be less of a moving target going forward. As you know, to recap, if you want to find our release notes, you can find them on the homepage, in the forum, and here on the right hand side you will see the feature release 7.13 deployed, and you can see the details of the release right here. I will also at the end of this video probably add a couple of feature videos going in detail, but let me rehash what has been done recently. We created a new management interface where you also can add favorites of your projects where they bubble up to the top. You can also set custom colors, which I use quite a lot to get a feeling for and to keep order in my projects. Also, we've changed the user interface to this more Visual Studio Code-like interface where we have a tree navigation on the left-hand side. We've also separated out modules, features, and the AI models where we can actually auto-generate tests for you, and the component view. And by separating this out, it's a little easier to navigate, and it's also good to be able to keep track of things like these are my features and these are my modules, my test code. We've also added the history view, which shows you what you've worked on recently. And this has all been done in previous releases, and there will be more documentation coming out describing this. I also want to touch and show you on some new features coming with this release. Under the CI view, this has been done much more clear. When you say generate CI link, now we actually expose a lot of the complexity here, where you can have different agents and things, and there will also be separate learning material on this. What's new for this release is that we've also added, instead of execute as soon as possible, which is what you usually do when you have a CI server like Jenkins doing the scheduling, we've also added execute in the schedule. And that means that you can set the schedule. For instance, if you don't have a CI server, we can give you basic CI functionality without you having to involve Jenkins or something like that. And in the beginning, it looks very simple, execute every time at midnight, or maybe you want to change this. But of course, not only can you change the time, we have, if you look at the repeat here, we have full cron job functionality underneath here. We can say only execute on Wednesdays and Saturdays and only on certain days, right? So there is a full amount of hidden CI functionality here that you can use. And the way that you would use that is simply to input the password, you get your token, and then you can generate your CI link. And as you can see here, the run schedule will be added in the link here, which is very cool.